Hello again, and welcome to the 5th podcast update from Toby's Fund for Reproductive Health Equity. I'm Barbara Levin. Last week I had a conversation with Jess Young, the graphic designer who created the new logo for Toby's Fund. This is a process way beyond my area of expertise. Fortunately, however, we had Jess. We gave Jess lots of parameters. A non-binary space was important to us. Non-binary colors were important to us, but we didn't want to be confined to just one color because we wanted to appeal to many differences. We did tell her that there are some impositions on our scope. We are bound by geographic parameters, that is, McHenry County, but we didn't want to be constrained by other boundaries. As busy as she is, I asked her why she opted to take on our challenge. Her response was wonderful. She talked about the concept of equity, why this project was personal to her, and how she gets her inspiration. Take a look. Now, before you do, I apologize that Jess's video is slightly out of sync with the audio. That is entirely my fault.
I was so happy when you reached out to me and you said this is what you're working on, and I was like, wow. And your mom's quote in there about she has this many children because she chose to have that many children. And I'm a mother. I have one child. I planned it to have that child at a certain time. I was recognized the privilege that I had to be in that situation to plan for a family. And it's still hard. It's still, even pre-pandemic and all those things, it's still hard. And it just, when you asked if I would work on this, I was like, of course, because mothering is hard, even when you want to do it, even when it's a choice. And for anyone to not have that, control over their own body and control over their own situation, whether it's pregnancy or any other body situation, is just heartbreaking. And to try to do it even with a supportive partner and planning and privilege, you can't ask people that don't have that or don't want that to do it. So it just, I was so happy to be able to work on something that meant something. Or maybe you can just see that end vision a little clearer. It takes a fewer revisions probably to get to where you want to be, if it's something you're invested in. It's wonderful when a client has an end goal in mind, not something super, it's not helpful when it's so specific, but when it's, you had a vision and you could clearly communicate that. And, the words and the knowing that you wanted it to be lively and you wanted it to really communicate just a brightness. And I thought that was really inspiring too, because it's a heavy subject matter, but to have just this life to it felt really good. And that gave me a direction. And but I'm just creating a little digital space. I do create all digitally now. There was a time where I did pen and paper, but equity, that was the big one. And, you and I discussed that too, but having equity at the forefront. One thing, it's just been something that's been on my mind constantly recently. So for a client to be like, hey, I want to make something and I want to make sure people understand this is a fund and equity is at the forefront. I was like, it should be. It's at the forefront of my brain right now because it's, the lack of equity is so clear in so many things, and just becoming more crystal clear at everything you look at. And so when you came to me and you're like, this is the most important word, I was like, oh, yeah, okay, here we go. At a time, there probably were some logos I referenced. I definitely spend more time looking at fine art things and more time just looking at so many different art mediums and then trying to pull some kind of reference material from that. And I think it keeps my brain a little fresher, especially because my work varies from logos and things, traditional things like that, to cards and note cards and things like that that might need more of a abstract feel to it. So yeah, I don't really look at logos anymore. I can make anything, but if it's something that you connect to or something that you really want to give to, it comes more naturally for me.
I found speaking to Jess really enlightening. It made me look at our new logo in a different way. Here's a short overview. I've also linked Jess Young's contact information below. And as always, if you wish to receive text alerts from Toby's Fund, MCCC, or on any abortion issues in general, remember to send an email at text@mcctobysfund.org. You can stop at any time. Thank you, and I'll talk to you soon. Goodbye.